and thank you for joining us for the second virtual and 19th Annual Student Awards and Recognition Ceremony under the theme, Partnership and Diligence, Pathways to Success. I am JL Alexander, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies for the evening's proceedings. Let me, on behalf of the Chairman of the Campus Council, Sir Paul Altman, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Clive Landis, Deputy Principal and Chairman of the Student Awards Committee, Professor Winston Moore, Campus Registrar, Mr. Rommel Carter, Campus Bursar, Ms. Lisa Aline, the Director, School for Graduate Studies and Research, Professor Kayudi Mabana, Deans of the various faculties, the Director of Student Services, Ms. Dale Lynch, and the President of the Guild of Students, Mr. Kyle Holder-Leach, bid you a warm and hearty welcome. I would like to welcome our guest speaker for the evening's proceedings, Mr. Java Seeley, distinguished guests, donors, awardees, members of the campus community, members of the media, and specially invited guests, ladies and gentlemen joining us virtually. You will now hear from the Deputy Principal, Professor Winston Moore, as he officially welcomes you.
Ms. Jael Alexander, Master of Ceremonies, Sir Paul Altman, Chair, Campus Council, Professor Clive Landis, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal, Mr. Rommel Carter, Campus Registrar, Ms. Lisa Aline, Campus Bursar, Mr. Java Seeley, our guest speaker for tonight's ceremony, donors of scholarships and prizes, Professor Kayudi Mabana, Director, School for Graduate Studies and Research, Deans and Heads of Departments, Dr. Thea Scantlebury Manning, Chair, Campus Committee for Undergraduate Awards, Mr. Kyle Holder-Leach, President, Guild of Students, Mr. Dario Welch, President, the UWI Alumni Association, Barbados Chapter, awardees of scholarships and prizes, members of the university community, specially invited guests, online audience, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Madam Master of Ceremonies, and congratulations and well done to all our awardees today. You are an excellent representation of the ideal UWI graduate, a diligent individual who strives for excellence. I know you have all worked very hard to receive your respective scholarships, bursaries, or awards. It is this type of hard work that you're expected to take with you into your places of work when you graduate and be a light rising from the west. This ceremony celebrates your success, and it is indeed my distinct pleasure to commend you on your achievements. However, it is important to recognize that this success was not achieved alone. I wish to acknowledge the parents, guardians, partners, spouses, and children that would have supported your journey today. Partnership was critical to your achievement. Partnership with your family, friends, and loved ones. Partnership with fellow students working on assignments late into the night. Partnership with your lecturers who would have tried their best to prepare you for your assessments as best as they could. The importance of partnership is an idea that I want you to take away from your academic journey here at the University of the West Indies. When you start your own business or enter the world of work, you will quickly realize that you cannot do it all by yourself. I'm reminded of a quote by Booker T. Washington, who was from the last generation of Black American leaders born into slavery, who then became one of the leading voices for change among the former slaves and their descendants. He said, "If you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else." I therefore encourage you to think about lifting someone else up in your journey here at the UWI and in your life generally, as this will provide the foundation for successful collaborations, innovative partnerships, and corporate successes as you navigate your way through life. In addition to partnership, success is not possible without diligence. That is, a steady, earnest, persistent effort to accomplish the tasks put before you. Any type of partnership cannot be successful without diligence, by all the partners involved. Similarly, general success cannot be accomplished in the absence of diligence. Many of you know quite well the hours and energy that you have dedicated to your studies and assessments, all of which resulted in commendable GPAs or even meeting alternative criteria stipulated for our various scholarships, bursaries, and awards. Diligence is a trait that cannot be taught in the classroom. However, it is a key ingredient that we can all draw upon in the face of challenges. It is a driving factor behind many of our celebrated scholars, innovators, leaders, and game changers within various industries. We anticipate that you will continue to draw upon this while also strengthening your partnership with your peers, educators, and family as you continue to build your pathway to success. I'm very proud of all the students highlighted tonight, and I wish you all the best in your years ahead. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Professor Moore, for the warm welcome. We now invite you to listen to the remarks of the Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the Cave Hill campus, Professor Clive Landis.
Miss Jael Alexander, Master of Ceremonies, Sir Paul Altman, Chair of the Campus Council, Professor Winston Moore, Deputy Principal, Mr. Rommel Carter, Campus Registrar, Miss Lisa Aline, Campus Bursar, Mr. Java Seeley, Guest Speaker, Donors of Scholarships and Prizes, Professor Kahudi Mabana, Director, School for Graduate Studies and Research, Deans and Heads of Department, Dr. Thea Scantlebury Manning, Chair, Campus Committee for Undergraduate Awards, Mr. Kyle Holder-Leach, President of the Guild of Students, Mr. Daria Welsh, President, the UA Alumni Association Barbados Chapter, awardees of scholarships and prizes, members of the university community, alumni, specially invited guests, online audience, ladies and gentlemen. And a special welcome to our student awardees whose outstanding achievements we are acknowledging this evening. It is truly an honor to celebrate this moment with you. We are, of course, somewhat disappointed that for the second consecutive year, COVID-19 has prevented us from gathering in person and forced us to host this ceremony virtually. But we are committed to enriching your student experience in the best ways possible, with or without COVID. And so, with the tremendous technical capabilities gained from our transition to emergency remote teaching brought on by COVID-19, we were able to transition to this online ceremonial format almost seamlessly. As business, educational, and other activity across the island gradually returns to normal, we have also resumed face-to-face teaching in a phased approach. We will offer full face-to-face teaching in the summer semester and look forward to the start of the new academic year in September, when we will welcome all our students back on campus. We will do so under the strictest compliance with health protocols, as we maintain our commitment to maintaining a safe and healthy environment to ensure your experience at Cave Hill is both a fulfilling and memorable one. On that note, I wish to thank you, the students, for your invaluable contribution to our efforts to ensure that the institution remained a safe and healthy learning environment during the height of the pandemic. I particularly wish to salute those who featured prominently in the national fight against COVID, and who, indeed, acquitted themselves as worthy ambassadors of the campus. Led by former Guild President Thatcher Loughton and her successor, Kyle Holder-Leach, you have done an outstanding job. Students, once again, you have excelled in the face of adversity. In the past year alone, it seemed like whenever we cleared one hurdle, another loomed before us almost immediately. I refer to the ashfall from the La Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent, soon after Barbados reopened from its second COVID lockdown, followed by the freak storm 2 months later, and who can forget Hurricane Elsa a few weeks after that. Through it all, you have remained committed to your goal of attaining a university education, and you never wavered. And it is because of this determination to succeed despite all odds that I am proud to celebrate you this evening. I am informed that some 61 of you are being awarded prizes this year, valued at nearly $240,000. I wish to thank your sponsors on your behalf for their generosity and hope that you find the time to meet them and thank them personally. Sponsorship is often the lifeline that enables some students to complete their studies. In 2014, when our students were required to pay their own tuition costs, 20% of the cost of their program, many simply could not meet that expense. Our enrollment figures fell by 40.9%. I was deputy principal at that time, and campus management worked as best as we could to ensure that our students were able to pursue their education and that the institution remained afloat. I am happy to report that since the reversal of the tuition fee policy, we have seen an increase in enrollment figures to over 6,000 once again. There has also been an increase in the number of students who have successfully completed their course of study. But even as we celebrate your achievements this evening, even as we look forward to the full reopening of campus, we are still healing from the mental and emotional wounds inflicted by COVID-19. Whether through illness, prolonged periods of isolation, or the loss of loved ones. We also cannot overlook the havoc that the pandemic has wrought on Caribbean economies. Extended lockdowns and the curb on in-person activity have left many businesses in a precarious financial situation, particularly those operating in the main revenue sector, the tourism sector. This means that our donors, who have contributed so generously to your education in the past, will now have to find creative ways of allocating their scarce resources, as they too have been impacted. To our donors, we remain forever grateful for your support over the years, and we look forward to strengthening our relationship. It is also impossible to ignore Russia's ongoing hostilities against Ukraine. Although the conflict in Eastern Europe is thousands of miles away from our shores, we have been feeling the impact through higher fuel and energy prices and a threat to the region's food security. These global developments serve as a stark reminder that it cannot be business as usual, and we will need to find innovative ways of making the most of our limited resources. I hope that you embrace the innovative and entrepreneurial spirit which currently engulfs the campus. Students, you have proven time and again that you have the capacity to survive and thrive in the face of any challenges you may encounter. In the coming months and years, you will need to draw on that same strength and determination that you have shown over the past 2 years. As you play your part to contribute to the social and economic restoration of your respective countries and by extension the Caribbean. We at the UWI Cave Hill remain committed to supporting you on your journey. Once again, congratulations on your achievement, and I wish you every success in your future endeavors. I thank you.
Thank you, Professor Landis. Now, we are going to listen to the testimonial of a donor. Here to share her experience is Ms. Colette Delaney, Chief Executive Officer of the CIBC First Caribbean International Bank.
Master of Ceremonies, Sir Paul Altman, Chair, Campus Council, Professor Clive Landis, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Winston Moore, Deputy Principal, other members of the university community, donors of scholarships and prizes, awardees, and other invited guests. Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to be able to address you again. The pandemic has once again dictated how we meet, but it can never dictate how we feel. As the largest donor of scholarships to the University of the West Indies for what is coming on up to now 20 years, CIBC First Caribbean is extremely pleased to be able to once again step up and assist young people across the region to complete their education. Our annual allocation of 15 scholarships since we first signed an MOU with the university means that we've provided funding for nearly 300 promising citizens of the Caribbean to enable them to complete their degrees and go on to make a meaningful contribution to the region. There is one simple reason that we do this year after year, and I believe the same is true for all the sponsors who've provided funding for scholarships. Whether it's a large corporation like ours or individuals and families who have stepped forward to provide scholarships in the name of their family, making this commitment speaks to our pride in being part of the unique and wonderful community that is the Caribbean. We're also determined to give our young people the best possible chance of being able to contribute to the region's ongoing development at the highest levels. Our region has seen and withstood many setbacks over the years, whether it be natural disasters, floods, hurricanes, or even earthquakes or volcanoes. The Caribbean has prevailed and demonstrated the grit needed to recover. When it comes to economic shocks, the great minds of the Caribbean have come together to chart a course towards recovery for our region, towards more sustainable options for growth. During the pandemic, which is perhaps one of the greatest challenges our region has seen, our people have again stepped up and continue to step up to find ways of managing and now living with this unprecedented situation. And now we have our most recent threat, the war in Ukraine after Russia's invasion of that country. Already, our region's greatest minds are turning their attention to the likely effects of that war so many miles away from our part of the world and planning how we can, again, withstand the shock to our lives and livelihoods, even as we continue to deal with the effects of the events of the last few years. And where, ladies and gentlemen, are many of these great minds of the region shaped and trained? No prizes for guessing, the University of the West Indies, with its 5 campuses strategically placed around the region so that as many people as possible have the best chance to access the advancement that education brings and that the University of the West Indies offers. We at CIBC First Caribbean also benefit from the excellence in education that UE has to offer. Many of our top people have been to university here, and so many more are currently enrolled in some course or degree program to further their education. The same can be said for many a company, government, and other non-governmental organization in the region and beyond. The UE has much to be proud of, and we, as one of your partners, are very proud right alongside you. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a pleasure to be part of this ceremony again. To all the young scholarship winners, I say, take advantage of every opportunity that's before you to continue learning. Learning is indeed a lifelong journey, and grasp every opportunity to pay it forward and give others a hand up. Use the knowledge you've gained and the experience that you'll gather to leave this world a better place than you found it. Congratulations, well done, and the best of luck to you all in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Delaney, for your company's continued financial support of our students. Before we get into the presentation of scholarships, awards, and prizes, we wish to incline your ears to a spoken word performance by Ms. Janine White. Ms. White will perform a piece entitled, "How Long Shall They Kill Our Prophets?" She is a UE graduate and an avid poet, and has won national acclaim for her award-winning work in the National Independence Festival of Creative Arts. her piece is a call to action for all creatives to share our history, promote community, and shape our legacy as a people through their work.
Dun, 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 dun. How long shall they kill our prophets? Snuffed out on purpose, because their sole purpose is the extinction of you, of you, of you, not of me, not of little black girls and black boys, or of hardened men, or supple and fertile women. Chattel, mere cattle, but they are prophets. And they will kill the prophets. They will try to destroy, to demolish, to render into a state of decay the ideas which you bore and birthed under these moonless nights, under these fields and hills, to make them and you and me beyond recall. So the prophets recite, rehearse, and resurrect as they must, in smoke, not in incense, in drums, not in trumpets, in whispers, not in fanfare, but say it, Ashe. The ideas of unrest and the stories of rebellion were to be wrestled and suffocated so that you can't breathe. So don't let them kill the prophets. How? How they burnt and decapitated and castrated mere ideas that rustle through soft blades of cane, but boldly embrace the rambunctious chink, chink, chink of coppers. Will penance ever be paid? In part? In whole? In semicolon? Without stop? So let the prophets write and sing and tell tales that rose from ashes, from dust, from prayers. After our ancestors had dried into those blood-soaked floorboards, and their tears had drenched the hull of the ships that docked and anchored and fastened us to these shores. And after songs had sunken into ocean's depth, remember, 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 and don't let them kill the prophets. You are one of them.
Let us thank Ms. Janine White for her compelling and insightful call to action of the prophets. It is now time for our visual presentation of scholarships, awards, and prizes to those students who achieved academic and sporting excellence.
Presentation of awards, scholarships, and prizes. The Faculty of Law. The Anthony and Joy Bland Scholarships. These are 4 one-year scholarships valued at Barbados $5,000 each and are awarded to nationals of the Caribbean reading for a degree in law who have completed level 1 of the LLB program. The recipients of the scholarships are Makeda Augustine, Trevon St. Bernard, Keandra Weeks, Kristen Williams. The Telford Georges Memorial. This prize is valued at Barbados $2,500 per annum and is awarded to nationals of the Eastern Caribbean who are full-time students in the Faculty of Law and is based on the GPA achieved on the Level 1 examinations of the LLB program at the Cave Hill campus. This prize is awarded to Tasma Dostale. Faculty of Science and Technology. The Patterson-Cheltenham QC Scholarships. The scholarships are valued at Barbados $3,000 and Barbados $2,000 and are open to nationals of the Caribbean who have gained admission to the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus to read for a degree in the Faculty of Science and Technology in the following disciplines: mathematics, physics, computer science, and electronics. The awardee is Nathan Mason. Faculty of Social Sciences. The Barbados Employers Confederation Scholarship. This scholarship is valued at Barbados $2,500 and an additional scholarship valued at Barbados $1,000 and are open to nationals of Barbados majoring in management, which includes industrial relations courses. The scholarships are awarded to Sharika Herbert, Patricia Ford Nightingale. The Barbados Workers' Union Cooperative Credit Union Limited, otherwise referred to as BWUCCUL, Winfield Bell Memorial Scholarships. These scholarships are valued at Barbados $2,500 each and are open to members of the BWUCCUL or the children or wards of members who have gained admission to the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus to read for a degree majoring in any discipline or as students registered for a full-time program.
The recipients of this year's awards are Shamara Pelford, Akeem Graves.
The Carlos Holder Memorial Scholarship. This award is valued at Barbados $2,000 and is open to second and third year undergraduate students reading for a degree majoring in economics. The winner of this scholarship is Abby Pulte. The Central Bank of Barbados Scholarship. The scholarship is valued at Barbados $12,000 and is awarded to nationals of Barbados to read for a degree majoring in economics and mathematics who are entering the Level 2 program at the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus.
The recipient of this year's award is Bevan Nichols.
The CIBC First Caribbean International Bank Scholarships. The CIBC First Caribbean International Bank Scholarships are valued at US $2,500 each and are 15 one-year awards open to students at the 3 campuses of the University of the West Indies reading for a degree in any discipline.
The recipients of this year's awards are
Doreen Clark,
Sadia David, Dylan Ford, Salia Gill, Amanda Gormandy, Salome Hernandez, Lucia Murray, Darian Taylor Payne, Patra Terrell,
the Seidel Bank and Trust Incorporated Scholarship. This scholarship is valued at Barbados $5,000 each. The scholarship is open to Barbadian nationals in full-time study who have completed Level 1 of the program, reading for an undergraduate degree in management, accounting, economics, computer science, information technology, or a combination of these.
The recipient of this year's award is Terrell Grant.
Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited Scholarship. This scholarship is valued at Barbados $5,000 and is awarded to a policyholder or the child or ward of a policyholder of CGIL who have gained admission to read for an undergraduate degree in any discipline.
This year's recipient is Dorian Walcott.
The Daphne Thompson Memorial Scholarship. This award is valued at Barbados $3,000 and is open to level 2 and 3 undergraduate students in any discipline from Blackrock, Grazettes, and the surrounding districts in the St. Michael area.
The recipient of this year's award is Miss Amaya Robinson Reese.
District Grand Lodge of Barbados Award. These scholarships, valued at Barbados $3,000 each, are open to nationals of Barbados to read for a degree in any discipline who have been accepted by the University of the West Indies for full-time study. The winner of this award is Rihanna Belgrave. The East Caribbean Group of Companies ECGC Foundation Award. The ECGC Foundation Award is valued at US $1,000 and is open to nationals of the OECS countries who have gained admission to the Cave Hill campus to read for a degree majoring in any discipline. The recipient of this award is Nikki Lorraine. The Enterprise Growth Fund Limited Scholarship. This scholarship is valued at Barbados $3,000 and is awarded to citizens of Barbados who are full-time students at the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus whose major is in accounting, economics, or finance.
The recipients of this year's awards are Miss Aaliyah Yearwood, Miss Roshana Kelman,
The Ermine Holmes Memorial Award. This award is valued at Barbados $1,500 and is open to first, second, and third year undergraduate students reading for a degree in any discipline.
The recipient of this year's award is Miss Ayo Mears.
The Ernst and Young Scholarship. This scholarship is valued at Barbados $6,000 and is open to Caribbean nationals registered in the Level 2 program reading for degrees in management, accounting, economics and management, accounting and economics, computer science and accounting, computer science and management, accounting with a minor in economics.
The recipient of this year's award is Mr. Mwali Knight.
The George and Mariana Carew Memorial Award. This award is valued at Barbados $1,000 and is open to nationals of the OECS who have gained admission to the University of the West Indies to read for a degree in any discipline. The winner of this award is Jane Ashell Gabriel. Gildan Activewear SRL Scholarship. These scholarships, valued at Barbados $7,000 each, are open to nationals of Barbados to read for a degree in management, accounting, finance, or related field who have successfully completed the first year of study at the University of the West Indies in that discipline. The awardees are Ajani Searles, Francesca Worrell. The Goddard Enterprises Scholarship. This is a 3-year award valued at Barbados $6,000 and is open to nationals of Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, majoring in accounting, agriculture, computer science, engineering, and management studies who are entering level 2 or 3.
The recipient of this year's award is Mateo Sam.
Insurance Corporation of Barbados Scholarship. These are 2 one-year awards valued at Barbados $2,500 each, and are open to nationals of Barbados in level 2 or 3, reading for a degree majoring in an accounting or management options at the University of the West Indies.
The recipient of this year's award is Jazz Corbin.
The Janelle Broom Memorial Scholarship, sponsored by PricewaterhouseCoopers. This scholarship is valued at Barbados $5,000 and is open to nationals of Antigua, Barbados, Grenada, and St. Lucia, entering level 2 and reading for a degree majoring in accounting, management, or computer science.
The recipient of this year's award is Miss Janae Ward.
The Cregner's Award for Vision and Fortitude. This award, valued at Barbados $3,000, is open to students registered at the Cave Hill campus, reading for a degree majoring in any discipline. The awardee must have successfully completed at least 1 year of study at the Cave Hill campus.
The recipient of this year's award is Mr. Nicholas Yard.
Ralph Boyce Scholarship, sponsored by the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. This scholarship is valued at Barbados $7,500, paid in equal parts over a 3 or 4 year period, is open to nationals of Barbados to read for a degree in any discipline. Students must be between the ages of 16 to 25 years and be members in good standing of the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited for at least 3 years.
The recipient for this year's award is Amir Eastman.
RBC Royal Bank Scholarship. The RBC Royal Bank Scholarships are 6 one-year awards valued at Barbados $4,000 each and are open to nationals of Barbados who have gained admission for a full-time study to the Cave Hill campus, reading for degrees in management studies, finance, or economics.
The recipients of this year's awards are Nicolina Bend, Dominic Derrick, Krishanda Miles, Tara Skeet. Shania Tull, Nikayla Wilson,
The Richard Cheltenham QC Scholarships. These scholarships are valued at Barbados $3,500 each and are open to Barbadian and OECS nationals who have gained admission to the University of the West Indies to read for a degree in law or social sciences.
The recipients of this year's award are Zianka Springer, Kervincia Webb, Tyreek Wilson,
The Rollins Family Charitable Trust Scholarship. These 10 scholarships, valued at Barbados $3,000 each, are open to nationals of Barbados who are registered full-time or part-time level 1, 2, or 3 students at the Cave Hill campus in any discipline, and in the categories of single mothers, low-income households, students from the Combermere School and the Les Devon School. The recipients of these awards are Kellyanne Alicott, Faith Benskin, Rashona Grimm, Tyson Holder, Shamelia Marshall, Nikita Mendez, Michaela Rochester, Nathan Wilson Tempro. The Sagicor Life Incorporated Scholarships 1 and 2. The first scholarship, valued at Barbados $5,000, is awarded to nationals of Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean who have successfully completed at least one academic year of study at the University of the West Indies, reading for a degree in accounting, computer science, business administration, or actuarial science.
The recipient of this year's award is Esquire Henry.
The second scholarship, valued at Barbados $5,000, is open to nationals of Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean who have gained admission to the University of the West Indies to read for a degree majoring in business studies and actuarial science.
The second award recipient is Krista Renier.
Soroptimus International of Barbados Scholarship. This scholarship, valued at Barbados $2,500, is open to national and non-national female students aged 18 to 30 years, registering for the final year of studies in a full-time undergraduate degree in social work and/or a science, technology, engineering, and mathematics discipline at the Cayfield campus.
The recipient of this year's award is Miss Kamalia Phillips.
The UWI Alumni Circle Scholarship, valued at Barbados $3,000, is open to all Level 2 and 3 students from any University of the West Indies contributing country in any faculty or discipline at the Cayfield campus.
The recipients of this year's awards are Stacy Brown Grosvenor, Verlina Henderson.
Thank you, Alyssa. At this time, we will have a short break from the presentation of awards. We will now view a performance by the Faculty of Culture, Creative and Performing Arts doing a piece entitled One Flies Also. It is performed by the Contemporary Dance 1 class and choreographed by Miss Aisha Kamishong. wish to thank the Faculty of Culture, Creative and Performing Arts for their contribution of this powerfully choreographed selection, One Flies, All Soar. I now invite you to view the second half of the presentations.
School for Graduate Studies and Research. The first in the category of Graduate Studies Award is the Ann Dennis Memorial Scholarship for Feminist Research. This scholarship, valued at Barbados $5,000, is open to any registered students of the Institute for Gender and Development Studies, NITA Barrow Unit, University of the West Indies, pursuing research as part of the MSc, MPhil, or PhD program. The recipient of this scholarship is Alicia Haynes, MSc Gender and Development Studies. The UE Fee Waiver Postgraduate Scholarship. These two-year awards, valued at full tuition and economic cost, are awarded to nationals of the contributing territories of the University of the West Indies who have been accepted in the current academic year to pursue full-time or part-time studies.
The recipient of this year's award is
Nicola Alexander, MPhil Meteorology. Dexter Aline, MPhil Education. Graham Atherley, MPhil Education. Aaron Ford, PhD Ecology. Nicole Griffin, PhD Education. Gloria Haynes, PhD Education. Farmala Jacobs, MPhil Gender and Development Studies. Ronald Pope, PhD Education. Larissa Samuel, MPhil Chemistry. Tayton David, MPhil Physics. The UE General Scholarship. The UE General Scholarship is a two-year award valued at Barbados $22,000 and is awarded to graduates of the University of the West Indies or other approved universities pursuing full-time MPhil or PhD programs in any discipline. The winner of this scholarship is Vivian Authors, MPhil Chemistry. The UE General Scholarship, Rex Nettleford. The Rex Nettleford UE General Scholarship is a two-year MPhil or a three-year PhD award open to graduates of the University of the West Indies or other approved universities pursuing full-time MPhil or PhD studies in the following disciplines: sociology, anthropology, cultural studies, or gender studies. Tuition fees and economic costs are waived for the duration of the scholarship. The scholarship is awarded to Denise Springer, PhD Cultural Studies. The UE Postgraduate Sports Scholarship. This scholarship is a three-year award valued at tuition fees for the full-time taught master's program. The recipient of the award is Nikita Wickham, MSc Sports Sciences. Our final award is the UE USED Educational Research Scholarship. This one-year scholarship, valued at Barbados $22,000, is awarded to citizens of Barbados or the OECS countries who have been accepted in or enrolled in or have applied for a graduate research-oriented program, MPhil or PhD, at the University of the West Indies Cayville campus with an educational-related focus. The recipients of these scholarships are Talisha Hyatt, Jamel Roberts.
It has been indeed heartwarming to witness the generosity of the donors and the range of scholarships they supported. It is now my pleasure to announce and introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Java Seeley. At 23 years old, he is a proud graduate of the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus. He graduated in 2020 with a BSc in International Relations with French and is also fluent in Spanish. Java is grateful for all the opportunities he has had thus far to use the knowledge and skills he garnered from his education at the UE. As a student, he represented the UE as a speaker and competitive collegiate diplomat at the Harvard National Module United Nations on 2 occasions. During his undergraduate studies, he also worked with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade as a Spanish-English translator during a one-week clothing workshop held at the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, one which he remembers as an engaging and memorable experience. He is the recipient of the inaugural Well-Rounded Excellence Award in 2020 from the Department of Government, Sociology, Social Work, and Psychology. He has already made strides in his quest to contribute to regional and global development and has been appointed CARICOM Youth Ambassador and as Vice Dean for Communications, Information, and Innovation at the CARICOM Youth Ambassador Bureau. He represents young people and shares his knowledge, insight, and perspective on decisions which impact them through these 2 offices. Java is currently a digital marketer and social media strategist. He recently joined Distinguished Scholars when he was appointed the youngest full member to the advisory board of the University of Guyana's Green Institute. His contribution supports their mission, which is to build an inclusive, sustainable Guyana. Java is enthusiastic about bridging the gap between technology, social media, and social science, and relishes opportunities to do so. During the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, he participated in and spoke at several United Nations fora on topics such as the climate and the environment, health, nutrition, and food safety, with many distinguished heads of state and state representatives. More recently, he led the discussion on digital skills to support the metaverse at the invitation of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union and the government of Barbados. In his lifetime, Java has accumulated a wealth of experience, too extensive to mention in this brief biography. Java hopes to inspire other young people to imagine the highest versions of themselves by arming themselves with the right attitude, a strong belief in self, the love for family, community, and self, and compassion, and awareness of their spiritual being, grounding their potential to make an impact as global citizens. He hopes to leave a legacy of positive change in the lives of persons and communities across all borders. His personal philosophy is based on the knowledge and conviction that saying yes can lead to wonderful opportunities.
Vice-Chancellor Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Principal of the UE Cave Campus Professor Clive Landis, Deputy Principal Professor Winston Moore, Campus Registrar Ramel Carter, Director of Student Services Mrs. Dale Lynch, President of the Students Guild Mr. Kyle Holder-Leach, distinguished faculty, and to all Blackbirds of the UE Cave Campus who are preparing to soar, a warm good night and welcome again to the Student Awards Ceremony 2022, themed Partnership and Diligence, Pathways to Success. Tonight, I wish I could identify as simply a former Blackbird, but since leaving the nest, I couldn't help but soar thanks to all that I've learned, thanks to all the people that I've met and the experiences I've had here at the UE Cave Hill campus. And I speak to the same that it will happen to all of you. Now, before I go on, as introduced, my name is Java Seeley, Barbados CARICOM Youth Ambassador, but know so much more, and most of all, a proud Blackbird and alumnus of this campus. And the Office of the Deputy Principal invited me to not only address you, but to give you my experience as a KFL student and thereafter, and to talk to you about what it means to embrace UE and Blackbird pride. Now, if someone were to tell me that at the end of my university journey, I would have won an award that wasn't even created yet, I'd have a hard time believing them. But it came true, and I became the inaugural awardee for well-rounded excellence from the Faculty of Social Sciences. At the end of my student journey, I was so much better than when I began, even in spite of COVID-19, and the same is to be said to all of you. I challenge you all to look around and find one of you who hasn't grown since proverbially stepping foot on this smart campus. It is truly an honor for me to be in this position now because it doesn't feel like very long ago that I was exactly where you are. I don't take this opportunity lightly as I know that the impact such speeches made on me when I was in your position. The speaker could have seemed so far removed from the listener and loaded with 90% of inspirational rhetoric, leaving you to almost feel shortchanged. And while inspiration is key to getting you to move on your own, I want to adjust the ratio to be equally as inspirational as it is practical, and I want you to remember today's tips that I've been able to harvest from my experiences and those of others. When I started, like many of you, I was eager, ready to learn, and to change for the better, but clueless about how much potential I really had. It's certainly been a long journey, one not without its challenges, not without its accountability, and one without humility. It wasn't without distraction and heartbreak either. Though our material campus experiences were different, as the COVID-19 pandemic left the campus a ghost town on my last day on campus when the first case touched down, our core experiences have surely been the same, I'm sure, because no other university better prepares Caribbean people to understand our unique problems and better yet, to solve them. Since closing the chapter on my bachelor's degree, I've been on an interesting journey, inching my way towards the success I'm striving for, and where I am now couldn't have happened without partnership or diligence, and that's why this year's Student Awards ceremony theme excites me as I deliver these remarks, and I hope that they excite you too. First and foremost, navigating your unique pathway to success means that you have to take responsibility for it. Ultimately, you are responsible for your own success, so own it. You have to decide that that's where you're going. And yes, there can be external factors and inhibitors, but like the true Caribbean people we are, we know a thing or two about how to push and go through. I am inspired by every single Caribbean woman I have met who has had to sacrifice so that someone in her care can go forward. And we are all here thanks to phenomenal Caribbean women and their selflessness. Demonstrating ownership means taking responsibility for yourself and for your actions. And the sooner that you make this realization, the more naturally partnership and diligence will come to you. There will be help along the way when you know how to seek it, but that's just a single step which begins your proverbial journey of 1,000 miles. Next, you have to define what success looks like to you. Ask yourself, which goals, stops, landmarks, and events will constitute your vision for success? And then make a strategy for it. And to put the theme more in context for you, if you haven't heard this before, let me be the first to tell you. The road to success is not a straight line. It is a series of twists and turns, of stops and restarts, some strategic and many unintentional. But in the grand scheme, they all form the chapters of the story that becomes your exciting life. We will all take different pathways to success. Though they're different, what we can share are the tools and advice given here today to help us navigate that path, no matter how divergent. There will be times where you're unemployed, as I was, but what helps is to reframe your narrative. While you'd still be unemployed, you can choose to identify as in transition to your next opportunity, all the while upskilling thanks to the limitless online courses and certificates which are available, especially from the UWI. As we become more globalized and interconnected, your opportunities and options for work and life are now limitless. With remote work being the order of the day, the gig economy becoming more and more the norm, and with you having more power over your labor, the world is fast becoming quite literally yours. You can now use opportunities to extract wealth from more developed countries and live the life that you want based right here in the Caribbean. So explore the opportunities. Don't limit yourself before you discover the difference one connection and one partnership can make to our individual and collective successes for our families and for our region. On the pathway to success, partnership and diligence are only two of the critical tools that will get you far, and your definition of success will change along the way. Always remember, every journey and path has a beginning and an end. What happens between those 2 points is up to you. Many of us will agree that as young people, it's so easy to be short-sighted in our visions for our lives. After all, our lives are already short as it is, and we think in the span of what we've lived already. Is this short-sightedness that can sometimes allow us to be so hard on ourselves, where we sometimes fail to celebrate, our successes as small as they are? Is this short-sightedness that allows us to realize how much we need mentorship to ensure that our innate short-sightedness doesn't determine our ultimate direction, because many of us will depend on the wisdom of our mistakes and have to start from scratch? But bottom line up front, one of the best ways to navigate any path or any journey is to connect with someone who has gone that road before. Mentorship is one of the most powerful and invaluable tools in your ability to go further together than you could have gone alone. And with a mentor, you're able to leverage their experiences, successes, and failures to travel your path more at twice the speed, but with the same care and the same lessons learned. While I recommend a living mentor, this time period and the advance of the internet allows you to be influenced by any mentor you like. Thanks to billions of hours of content in the largest video library on earth, which we know as YouTube, and thanks to virtually unlimited data banks on those who went down as legend, you have the chance to consume as much content on those who inspire you and those whose journeys you want to learn from while emulating the very same mentor. Solid mentorship is one of the best partnerships you can have. And if I've said anything of value here today, let me say this. Volunteering has gotten me to the position to form partnerships I now enjoy and benefit from the most today. The experiences and mentorship which I've experienced by passionate volunteering could form another speech in itself, but our time tonight is short. Big hint, volunteer. But the next best thing to mentorship is the invaluable friendship, which is found in the most unexpected of places. It provides that tremendous support and eases the burden of something which could already be as rigorous as a university journey. I mentioned that every path has a beginning and an end, and unless you intend to pursue academia, your time at the UWI will be short, so make the most of the people and the resources which surround you, even in a virtual context. Leverage the UE for all you can, because in this place, at this time, you stand on the shoulders of parents and grandparents who have not had the opportunity to go to university or have had to go without. You stand on the shoulders of whose intelligence and Caribbean ethic and toughness you inherited, and you ought to do justice to yourself and to your lineage as a young person of Caribbean heritage and descent, most times affected disproportionately. They're the ones who know the true value of partnership and diligence, who taught us in a Barbadian context that when you ain't got horse, ride cow, and those who look out for others and have formed a mutually beneficial community. For them, partnerships began in their schools, in their churches and spiritual gatherings, in their social clubs, and especially in the market. And for us, partnerships form via social media, over drinks, at games nights, on trips, and especially here through the campus. The UE is a breeding ground for excellent partnerships that you may not even realize now that you're in it. But before you choose a great partner, you ought to be a great partner yourself. And you do that by finding ways to add value to yourself in ways that make you valuable to others. It's easy to just come with nice words, but these are the realities and inequalities that we fought to overcome, a fight which you continue to by maximizing what you have before you. The UE and the Regional Integration Project was and still is a movement geared towards creating a path towards success and prosperity powered by partnership and diligence. And to you, the young people, as with every major movement, it was always the young people who carried it. We've been defined time and time again by a real democratic impulse and Caribbean sensibility like that shown by Shirley Chisholm, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Stokely Carmichael or Kwame Ture, and many other prominent civil rights leaders who were either in their 20s and early 30s. It's these characteristics that lent themselves to movements in the United States and across the world, and that Caribbean power and island swagger still exists in every one of us today. It was our own Professor Sir Hilary Beckles who said that what we as young people are saying today becomes the norm of tomorrow, and that it never trickles down from the imagination of the older people. Coming from such a beautiful region, we especially see and understand the importance of living the plural life, loving who you want and wanting to actualize that and being who you are, regardless of your territory, being a product of the mosaic and the beauty of multiple colors and the politics of reality. But I can't speak like this in a vacuum. As our Caribbean societies are structured, not all of us have the same access to resources on our own merit, nor the networks or even the status to go far. So my advice to us all, to all of you, is to leverage one of the greatest gifts that the Caribbean has given to itself in the UWI, an institution forged in the fires of a vision to undo the underdevelopment which was dealt to this region thanks to the greed of what were our colonial plunderers and invaders. Instead, you join a legacy of Black Caribbean academic excellence that defied a system that was intended to offer us our place within the global system and to create ceilings for our respective races, classes, and statuses, which we shake up every time we become a proud graduate of this regional institution. Thanks to the UWI, its faculty, its staff, its programs, its offerings, you can reach out and don't stop reaching out until you get the help they can offer, so you can raise the floor of your own human and social development and remove your own ceiling. My passion for this and my passion for you as young students just like me extends beyond this moment, as I could go on for hours about all that I've learned, all that I wish I could leave with you today. But in coming to an end, I want to declare that these are not going to be the last awards that you will get, especially if you maintain and improve the attitude towards work that you do now. As much as university in many cases is a test of who has the best memory and who performs better in exams, from my experience so far having graduated a little while ago, life rewards those who love to learn the most and who have the best attitude towards it. But learning and the right attitude can only get you so far. We say in our circles across the Caribbean that it's not what you know, but who you know. And we say it in the context of becoming employed, but that's not only true in the region, it's true all across the world. And as much as you can be qualified or unqualified in some cases, people will offer opportunities to those who they know, like, and trust. And forming genuine connections with people, no matter where you go, is a skill that you should develop from right now. So distinguished awardees, I want to leave these main and smaller lessons with you today. 1. Take responsibility for your success. 2. The path to success is not a straight line. 3. Mentorship is one of the best partnerships you can have. 4. Leverage the UE for as much as you can while you're here. That's the purpose that it serves, to develop you as a student in your dreams and expectations. 5. Lend passion to a cause by volunteering. 6. Work smart, but work hard too. And as for these smaller lessons, I want to leave these with you. Get comfortable with the reality that you're going to have to do work. I fought this a little until I realized just how futile it was. One way or another, you're going to have to read. Next, develop a healthy relationship with learning and studying, because it's very easy to be swayed by the constant "I hate school" and eventually "I hate work" posts and tweets. If you develop a healthy understanding and relationship, then you will feel less self-induced stress and you won't have to deal with the resentment of hating what you're doing. That in itself is a toxic relationship, one that you don't have to get into. Next, learn the different ways to consume information. Videos, podcasts, and virtual reality are great ways to give yourself a more sensory experience when it comes to learning, if applicable to you. Then, develop good relationships with your lecturers, because this relative familiarity can make the difference when trying to access information or guidance both in school and after university. Next, be brave with your educational experience, or don't fear being wrong. Lecturers themselves weren't made perfect, but they had to go through the guidance that allows them to impart knowledge on you within the classroom context. You should also take advantage of volunteer experiences, because they give you the experience and the skills necessary to develop you and can align you with real opportunities. Then, become confident in your learning. To become confident in what you've learned, you should be confident in learning. If I were to leave a big hint with you, Being on the other side has shown me that the markets have been so disrupted to our advantage by COVID-19, and the advent of the fourth industrial revolution has been looming. And it tells me that high-paying jobs in STEM, especially in tech, are about to proliferate even more with the advent of Web 3.0, now known to us as the metaverse. It may not be sexy or even understandable now, but my experiences have shown me very positive indications that tech and fintech companies will need brilliant human resources in the social sciences and the humanities, much like yourselves, in order to bridge the gap. And everyone won't be a computer scientist, as the sector doesn't function in a silo. So prepare yourselves from early. Always look to upskill and to add value to yourselves, and keep your CV up to date to go when the light turns green. Distinguished awardees, it has been my pleasure. Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Seeley, for your very enlightening and inspiring words, and we wish you every success in your future endeavors. We continue to create lasting memories for our students, donors, and other stakeholders, and have again this year created a digital album for your viewing pleasure. The digital album is an online publication with video presentations from staff. It provides information about the donors, scholarships, awards, recipients, and important scholarship deadlines. Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal Professor Clive Landis also delivers brief introductory remarks. We will now be entertained with a saxophone performance by Nathan Husbands. Nathan is currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in management with a concentration in marketing here at the UWI Cayfield campus. His love and passion for music saw him starting on the snare drum around the age of 7. He then transitioned to the trumpet and later to the tenor sax. Nathan believes that basking in musical expressions, both past and present, is a great way to let go of the stresses of life. Nathan's rendition today will be Whitney Houston's One Moment in Time. We thank Nathan for his impressive rendition of Whitney Houston's One Moment in Time. At this time, Ms. Chelsea Jordan will offer a special thanks to the donors on behalf of the scholarship awardees.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chelsea Jordan, and it is my distinct pleasure to express heartfelt thanks on behalf of the awardees at this, the 19th Annual Student Awards Ceremony, under the theme, Partnership and Diligence, Pathways to Success. Helen Keller once said, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." And today's Students' Awards Ceremony is a testament to just that. After hard work, sweat, and lots of tears, the students here today have reaped the benefits of their labor. For some of us, these acts of kindness helped to propel us in this world when we saw no path. For others, this is the lifeline that we've been needing for so long. And for all of us, I can say without a doubt that we are truly grateful for your continued support to us and the university. As Blackbirds, we know that when one flies, all of us soar. And because of this and so much more, we say thank you to all of our corporate and individual donors and sponsors. Thank you for your assistance in making our dreams become a reality and in believing in our potential. Because you saw it fit to invest in our educational pursuits, we can move forward to one day serve and invest in others to come. We extend a heartfelt thank you to you.
Thank you, Chelsea. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the UWI Cayfield Campus Student Awards Ceremony 2022. I wish to take the opportunity to thank the donors for their continued and invaluable contribution to student success. We wish to thank the student awardees for their continued diligence and commitment to academic and personal excellence. We sincerely appreciate the efforts of the members of the Student Awards Committee for conceptualizing a well-thought-out and executed virtual ceremony. Special acknowledgement to the teams of the Office of Marketing and Communications and UWI-TV, who were responsible, respectively, for the production of the online ceremony and for streaming the virtual event. We also express appreciation to exquisite photos, and we thank the media for their coverage. Finally, thank you for being such an attentive audience, and it was indeed a pleasure being your Master of Ceremonies. I am JL Alexander. Good evening to you from the UWI Cayfield campus.